Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back TechCrunch senior writer and your Battlefield host, Anthony Ha.
Hello! So as you probably guessed, the reason I'm on stage once again is because we're about to start the second round of the Startup Battlefield. As a reminder, all of these companies are competing for the grand prize of $50,000 US and ownership, if only temporary, of the Disrupt Cup. Before we can bring the companies out, of course, we're going to bring out our 5 expert judges. First, we have Louise Samet, a partner at Blossom Capital. Before Blossom, Louise worked at Klarna, a leading European fintech startup. Next, we have Bindi Karia, a venture partner at the London-based venture firm Draper Esprit. She's been a strategy consultant at PwC Consulting, worked in corporate environments like Microsoft Ventures, and worked at the startup Trayport. Next, we have Karen Stafford, the regional director for Central, Northern, and Eastern Europe at Intel Capital. Karen holds multiple patents, is an advocate for diversity in technology, and an avid outdoor adventurer. Next, we have Sitar Teli, founder and managing partner of Connect Ventures. Prior to starting Connect, Sitar worked at Doty Hanson Technology Ventures, where she led the firm's investment in SoundCloud's Series A. Last but not least, we have Niall Wass, partner at Atomico. He's focusing on the consumer space and marketplaces. He was previously part of the executive team at Uber and COO and CEO at Wonga. So let's have a round of applause for our judges.
Enthusiastic.
Now we are bringing up our very first startup in this round. That startup is Nodle. Presenting for Nodle are Micha Benoliel, Eliott Teissonniere, and Garrett Kinsman.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Micha Benoliel. I am the co-founder and CEO at Nodle, a crowdsourced connectivity solution to connect the next trillion things to the internet. I am here with my co-founder, Garrett Kinsman, and our blockchain architect, Eliott Teissonniere. So Garrett and I, in the past, were lucky to launch an amazing mobile application called FireChat. FireChat enables you to stay connected and message when there is no internet access. We had more than 1 million installs the first week after the launch, and eventually, it was the mobile application that helped the students in Hong Kong back in 2014 to organize and stay connected during the pro-democracy protest of the Umbrella Revolution. So we had seen crowd connectivity change the world, and we knew there was no going back. So we realized we could leverage crowd connectivity to connect more efficiently, more cost-effectively, the next trillion things to the internet. And we could do that if we could first make sure that everyone participating in the network would be rewarded. And second, if we could make sure that every connection is safe and secure. So we created a new economic model that basically rewards all the participants in the ecosystem, the app developers, IoT manufacturers, smartphone makers, and now people, you, get rewarded for participating in this network. So the way it works, the more data you move, the more value there is in the data you move, the more you earn nodlecash, our cryptocurrency. Let me show all of you how it works. So prior to the event, we positioned a few sensors in the room. And as you can see on this graph, you have green dots. The green dots are smartphones from people who already have our mobile application installed. What happens is these smartphones become IoT gateway or access points for IoT, if you prefer. And the blue dots are these sensors. So when you click on a blue dot, you can see that they have sensors for humidity, temperature. There is even an accelerometer and pressure. And all that data flows through these smartphones and go back to the cloud, and is sent directly, if you are working with us, in the form of a raw data into your information system. But what we realized when we were building this huge network is that there are so many flaws in security in IoT. So we created a communication protocol that has security built in. It's called Rendez-vou. And Rendez-vou is amazing. It is able to verify the identity of all these devices and sensors that connect to your network. So as you can see here on the screen, it was able to verify the identity of that device through a certificate. Let's go back to the slides. Thank you. So Rendez-vou is amazing. It is built on blockchain. It is a fully decentralized technology, and guess what? It scales better on the blockchain than on a centralized architecture. It prevents double issuance of certificates. It is fully trustless. And in case there is a device that has been compromised, you can revoke access to the network for that specific device. So we package our solution for enterprise, smart cities, large organizations, businesses, and all our solutions come built in with our communication and security protocol, Rendez-vou. They work for asset tracking, sensor data collection, or simply for connecting your things to the internet. That's the amazing network we built in a bit more than a year since we started to deploy the network. We reach more than 80 countries. It's a 100% software solution. It goes pretty fast. And every day, our network connects or sees up to 100 million IoT devices. And all that through mainly smartphones, up to 5 million daily active smartphones. And to achieve that, we partnered with amazing companies like HTC, who basically pre-installed our app on their smartphones. We partnered with Cisco Meraki, who is pushing our software for their routers for their enterprise customers. And we also have partnership in security with companies like Ledger, if you are familiar with the blockchain and cryptocurrencies. That's a slide that shows you basically the tractions in this space. We have big companies entering the IoT connectivity space. Amazon recently announced Amazon Sidewalk, and Apple launched their Apple Find My. Nodle is the only solution which is 100% software and that addressed all the use cases in Industry 4.0. So now it's time for you, for people to reclaim ownership of their data and of the internet. Nodle is the opportunity for you to be rewarded and earn Nodle cash each time you help smart cities, companies, and businesses build a more secure and private internet for connecting their things. So join us by installing our app, nodlecash app. We call this the Citizen Network. Thank you.
Okay, judges.
Can you tell me about how many individual downloads on the Citizen Network versus the pre-install on HTC or any of the other phone makers? What's the percentage? What's the number?
So we are just starting with our own mobile application. So nodlecash was released a couple of weeks ago on Android. It's coming on iOS pretty soon. Most of our presence on smartphones comes through our partnership with app developers or with smartphone manufacturers like HTC.
And what's the split between the smartphone manufacturers and app developers?
App developers is the majority of our users.
Okay.
I mean, of our partners, sorry. And for them, it's a way to complement their revenues, or actually to find an alternative to advertising revenues, because often, sometimes, they don't want to sell users' data. So for example, we have a famous ad blocker, who instead of paying for the app, basically you block ads, it's free, if you activate basically our service.
I'd love to learn more about your business model, particularly how you're working with the manufacturers.
Let Garrett.
Sure. So we're like a telco. So we provide a monthly fee per device to connect that device to the internet. And so today we're in several paying pilots, upwards of $50,000 per pilot. And these are with select customers that can scale up to millions or tens of millions of dollars per year.
What's the fee you charge per device?
It varies based on vertical, but in general, it's 10 to 20 times cheaper than a cellular solution.
Who is it that you're selling to?
So today we're working with national railways, hotel groups, tool manufacturers, and shipping pallet companies, all to connect things that really could never be connected to the internet before easily.
And inside of those organizations, like which position, which role does the person have that you're selling to?
Generally, it's the innovation group that's trying to solve problems, especially for improving efficiencies and things like that. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
And go ahead.
After you.
No, you go.
Can you explain a little bit more about the data that you're actually passing here? You said it's for asset tracking, but what other data is passed? Is it something that can be used for communication amongst individuals as consumers, or what? Can you give us a couple of real use cases of your technology?
So in general, we're a general purpose data network. So any type of data that an IoT device wants to transmit to the internet, we support. Most of our customers, it's asset tracking, but we're also supporting things like sensor data, so temperature of a shipping pallet or the vibration, things like that.
Okay, and then explain how that connects to the consumer need. I mean, you encouraged everyone to download the app and claim back their cash. What's the real incentive for someone to do that?
Well, today your smartphones often cost between $500 or $1,000, and actually for you it's a way to get some reward back that we'll be able to exchange for services, and you don't have to do much. You install the app, you walk around, and on your commute, and you will see we pay you every couple of minutes or hour, and you receive basically payments.
Okay. And how does that work?
Thank you.
Sorry, how does that work?
So we send you our cryptocurrency called nodlecash, and you can see the reward you just received, and you can even check basically the work that has been attached and performed to generate that coin.
What's the required density to having a number of cell phone users to be able to have the data transmission in a reliable way? So density in a city of the phone users.
Yeah, it's very important to have density.
Yeah.
That's why we have this incentivization mechanism. And we believe once we reach around 5% penetration in cities, we have actually a pretty good network. And it's a delay-tolerant network. So often what happens, you have use cases, for example, in the construction space, where people have smartphones, but signals don't go into these projects. It's very hard. So with the phone, you can walk around, capture data from sensors. The phone and the application will store the information, and when you connect, then it will send back the information to the cloud.
It would seem to me a vicious circle with you need to have the required density to be able to pay people to be able to have the signals come through.
So how
are you approaching that?
Exactly. We had to solve that chicken and egg problem.
Yeah.
And today we actually have a network that's working. And we tend to, at the beginning, to take only projects where people were also participating in the deployments. Mm-hmm. So in the case of the National Railway, for example, they have 600 workers that have tablets. So not only they can use our network, but they can leverage these workers' tablets and smartphones to participate in the network.
Which can you tell me a little bit about the path from a paid pilot to a full commercial deal? And with the partnerships you have right now, how far along are you in that journey? And how long do you think it'll take you to close that deal?
Sure. So right now we have these pilots live, and the real benefit to our network isn't locating an asset, it's improving efficiencies. So this is actually quantifying human labor and understanding where is an asset when I need it, and using that to build a story. So these customers are very interested, and we're actually meeting with a major one in a couple of days. So they love our technology, they want it, and we're in the process of converting these into paying customers.
But how far do you feel you are to closing an actual proper commercial deal with these partners?
So we have, for example, a deployment with a smart city, the city of Paris.
Okay.
A group that has smart benches. So we already did the test, and now we are waiting for the commercial deployment of these benches across the cities in parks. And when that happens next year, it's going to be like it's in less than 6 months, basically.
Okay.
All right, give it up for Nodle.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.